Hey everyone, welcome to the first real edition of ZA Monthly. I'm Leighton's Gown, I'm the leader and organizer of ZA Monthly, and I hope you enjoy seeing our highlights of some of our favorite things from the community over the past month, as well as art from our own artists on the team, and finally the monthly news update. To get us started, let's hear from our anchor team.
Hey guys, I'm Gabby. You might have seen me around Zelda Amino, but if you haven't, I am a co-anchor for ZA Monthly, and my blog is a Skyward Sword review by Ry Hansen One, also known as Ry. If you don't know, he makes great reviews, and he also writes other great blogs, and he always makes reviews of games a few days after he's played them, even if he's played the game multiple times. It's always great to see like his thoughts on the game either way because he is a great writer. And in his review, and this one in specific, it's quite lengthy, but that's okay because once you're reading it long enough, you won't even realize it's long. Um, he talks about the story, gameplay, and other things such as the art styles that are presented and the soundtracks, which is really nice because it's like you're breaking it down and it's really nice so it's not all jumbled up and you're not getting lost. And in his review he talks about both the good and the bad, so he's not focusing on just one opinion, he's focusing on it all the way around, which is really nice. um I also like how he gives examples of his thoughts, kind of like to back them up, you know? Um, like, for example, when he's talking about soundtracks, he shows a couple examples of the soundtracks, kind of to prove his point a little more. When he's talking about some bad things, he talks about Fi, and sure, she's a good character, but he talks about things about her like giving extra tutorials when the game already gave you a tutorial kind of thing. But he also talks about good stuff like, for example, he talks about monster parts and how collecting them actually gives you a purpose because you get to use them for upgrades, which is something that wasn't in prior Zelda games. And he talks about how he likes that. So it kind of gives you an example of things that he likes and dislikes. Um, One thing I really enjoy about this review, though, is that in the end, he describes Skyward Sword as the worst 3D Zelda game, but in a good way. And after reading his review many times, I start to see that. Like, if you've never read one of his reviews, which I really recommend you do, um, he just how would I describe it? He just puts a lot of emphasis on his points, and it's amazing how he can just basically bring his thoughts to life, you know? Um but to kind of wrap this up, I guess, if you haven't read his any of his reviews, if you haven't read this one in specific, I highly recommend you do because he shows a lot of great points, and even if you dislike the game, you should still read it because it might change your mind. I mean, I've read some of his reviews for games that I might not have liked as much, but after reading his review, I really enjoyed it. And I think that since Skyward Sword is a game that not many people have great opinions on, this would actually be a good review to read to kind of change one's opinions for the better, of course. So if you haven't read it, I highly suggest you do.
Hey guys, Hyrule Girl 13 here with a new and improved ZA Monthly. This month, It's That Breath of the Wild nerd wrote a hauntingly beautiful poem in the perspective of Breath of the Wild Link and Zelda. Just so you know, this poem does have spoilers for Breath of the Wild, so if you haven't at least seen most of the memories, I would recommend skipping to this timestamp right here. It starts in the perspective of Zelda as she talks about the hardships that she faced that her people never see. She is forced to keep a smile on her face and show no sign of weakness. Her goddess blood and her power that will defeat Calamity Ganon are all that seem to matter to the people, and she lost her childhood because of it. Link experienced similar things as he relates in his half of the poem. He must stand up and be a hero, but no one ever sees the sacrifices he must make to get there. You know, it's amazing how similar these two are despite the differences that Zelda insisted they had. Kinda makes you wonder. Well, that's it for my segment. I'll see you guys next month.
Hey everyone, Leighton here again, this time to share with you an awesome post created by Two-Face. Two-Face created a very well thought out and lengthy crossover post that combines elements of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with Zelda. More specifically, taking certain Zelda games and turning them into stands. For more info on stands, I recommend looking up info on JoJo itself. Two-Face turned to members of the community to ask them their favorite Zelda games, using them as the stand user and their favorite title as the stand, which I thought was very fun and a unique way to design them. One of my favorite parts of the post is not only the art direction, but the fact that the stands are pretty well thought out. Lots of thought went into giving them crazy abilities, but of course making them have drawbacks or weaknesses as well, as to not make them insanely overpowered. Overall, the post was just very well put together, and I really enjoyed it as a crossover. So keep up the good work, Two-Face. Hey everyone, Leighton here again, and this time I'll be reading for Zelly. Hey, Zelly here. Unfortunately, I could not record this month around, as I got extremely busy. Still, I was able to pick a blog I really enjoyed and explain why I did. So let's get right into it. Though there were plenty of awesome blogs this month by many members across the community, one stood out the most to me. Hylia's Majora's Mask and Breath of the Wild. For her blog, Hylia spoke about these two games and expressed why she thought mechanics for Majora's Mask could help improve Breath of the Wild. According to Hylia, the time mechanic could have established a sense of urgency to save Hyrule. She explains how it could be much more of a rush, much more exciting for players, and I agree. The time mechanic was very clever and made Majora's Mask unique. Most veteran Zelda fans will agree. The Divine Beasts were a little easy and at some points boring. Implementing some sort of time mechanic here could have made battling the Divine Beasts just a little more interesting. She also talks about making Breath of the Wild side quests more important by making them impact the main story, having its dungeons connect more to the races, as well as having having a companion to add more motivation and depth to the main story. While these were all very good points, what stood out to me the most was her opinion on the bosses of Breath of the Wild. As I stated before, the Divine Beasts felt a little easy. Most of the Blights felt this way as well. Small exception for the speedy Thunderblight Ganon. Hylia believed that they could have improved them by making them have at least a little bit more brain and by connecting them to the story. She suggests that with these connections, players will have a better understanding of the enemies, and thus have more motivation to defeat them. All amazingly supported and well-written points by Hylia. I agreed with all of them and found this blog very interesting and a lovely read. Be sure to send your love to Hylia for this fantastic blog too. That's all I have that's all I have to say for this time today, sadly. Until next time, au revoir.
Hello, my name is Tabia, and I'm one of the artists of the Zelda Amino monthly team. I'm happy to be here and being able to do this. Anyway, my art for the month was originally inspired by an event in the past. I thought it'd be nice to turn a memory into a drawing. What I was going for was a soft mood with the colors, but to also add some emotion in it. Thinking about how the Breath of the Wild Zelda is, I thought you would bring that across. And Vi, the one who she wonders if she can hear her watching over. What I really like about it are the colors and the shading. And I, in general, like the result of it all. That's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.
Hey guys, Leighton here to read on behalf of Mags. Everything beyond this point will be Mags' writing. Hey there everyone! Today for ZA Monthly, we'll be looking over this beautiful piece of Zelda by Samu Senpai, and what a gorgeous piece it is. Not only does their style just radiate Zelda's beauty, but I also really love their warm coloring style and shading. I also would like to point out how the silent princesses are also a very nice little touch, as they're out of her hair besides in her hand. Overall, this piece is just as stunning as Zelda herself, and I highly recommend you check it out, as well as the artist. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Heyo, it's Gamzo Pop here with your monthly Zelda Amino news. I've got some breaking coverage for you all today, so let's not waste any time and see what Zelda Amino has in store for us this month. First up, I'll be discussing factions. What are factions? For a brief summary, factions are Zelda Amino's race representatives who participate in weekly challenges. These races are the Hylians, Gerudos, Zoras, Gorons, and the Sheikah. Recruitments are often, so keep your eyes peeled and check them out. Bring out the best of your favorite Hyrule race by pitching in art, writing, and edits. Or you can just vote for your favorite entries. Get creative or get voting. Another acclaimed group of Zelda Amino, the Hylian Inquiry, is with some new recruitment. For the Links, Dark Link and A Link Between Worlds, or Triforce Heroes, Link is open. For the Zeldas, Four Swords Adventure Zelda and Ocarina of Time Sheik. Recruitment is opening this April. Inquiry is meant for discussion in Zelda topics and interactions with other members. You can win points for your team, from Secret Links to the Secret Zeldas to the Secret Ganons. There was also a new group earlier this month announced that caused quite the stir, the Yiga Vendetta. Created by HIDS on March 4th, this game was inspired by the Mafia. It's basically a huge two-sided war, where Yigas are hiding with Hylians. The Hylians are trying to kill the Yiga, and the Yiga are trying to kill the Hylians in a massive mystery scene. There are different roles in the game to spice it up, but no one knows who's who. It's everyone's own survival. This all takes place in a reserved chat. I thought this was a very fun idea, with a fresh and memorable concept and an exciting game mechanic. What's even better is the unknown, so the game itself is interrogative and challenging, almost like D&D sessions, but a bit more coordinated with location. Ever since the beginning of March, I was enthusiastic to discuss this group. I can't wait to see more of your creations, HIDS, and good luck to all players. Unfortunately, positions are currently not open for recruitment, but you can still sign up for a reserve list and be an alternative if anyone drops out. Finally, a very cool challenge was created at the very beginning of this month, the 2 Years Week Challenge, which was all about showing appreciation for Breath of the Wild's 2nd annual anniversary. This challenge stood out because there were many, and I mean many, astounding entries. Breath of the Wild reeled in lots of new fans, so many members participated, which resulted in beautiful blogs that featured the game's revolutionary greatness. It was fun celebrating Wild's 2nd birthday. I'm already anticipating its 3rd. Whew, that is all the breaking news for this month. This was your reporter, Gamzo Pop, and I'm out of here.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this first real edition of ZA Monthly. If you'd like to leave us any suggestions, or have any concerns, or just something you'd like to let the team know, you can let us know so in the YouTube comments below, or over on Zelda Amino itself. We'd be happy to hear from anybody over any possible concerns, so just let us know. Thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you next month. Bye!